Hello everyone, our guest today is Rahul Singh. Rahul is the CIO Equities at Tata Mutual Fund. He heads the fund management and equity research teams there. He's a mechanical engineer from IIT Bombay and an MBA in finance from IIM Lucknow. By way of background, Rahul is a veteran in financial services with nearly or probably more than 26 years behind him in this space. Thanks for joining us today, Rahul.
Thank you, Neelabh.
So we'll quickly get into our topic for the day. We are going to talk about multi-cap funds. My first question, what kind of investment horizon should investors have while considering to invest in multi-cap funds?
Well, I think definitely 3 years plus, because as you know, the multi-cap segment will have fair bit of representation from mid and small cap companies. And sometimes the thesis with which we buy the mid and small cap companies takes time to complete the payout, and sometimes it takes at least 2 years to 3 years. So I would say to get the full benefit of some of the companies in the small cap segment, which we buy for the long term, where the returns come over a period of 3 years plus, at least 3 years, and ideal would be 3 to 5 years kind of an investment horizon for a fund like multi-cap.
Right. And the next one is actually very similar. Is there a good time to invest in multi-cap funds, or are these should these be part of an evergreen portfolio? Please also suggest in terms of investing in multi-cap funds, the sizing of the investment when the markets are moving down, when the markets are moving up, etc.
Yeah, so I think ideally investments into multi-cap have to be done in a staggered way, because as I mentioned, there is a fair representation of mid and small cap, which sometimes can tend to be more volatile than large cap. So the ideal way to invest would be through a smaller lump sum, but mainly through staggered approach, through an SIP approach. And I think from a market timing perspective, there is nothing like market timing. I think that logic of trying to wait and buy at the right time at the absolute bottom does not really happen. So you have to have the staggered approach. Also, you have to look at multi-cap as a segment, especially at a time when the economy is becoming more balanced and going to go into a different zone in terms of the economic growth. So typically a multi-cap fund would do better when the economy is stable to slightly positive, because what happens is when the economy goes through a revival led by especially the investment cycle like it is happening today, a large part of the companies which benefit from that kind of economy are present in mid and small cap, and therefore multi-cap can take full advantage of that. So that's the best time to buy, which is, I think today I would say is one of those times where I can say confidently that we are looking ahead at such years in front of us. But how to deploy and how to exactly put it is always should be in a staggered way, because obviously, as I mentioned, there can be volatility in some of the segments which we.
Right. So to just paraphrase what you said, multi-cap funds can be an evergreen part of your portfolio. Having said that, don't try to time the market, and of course, use the services of advisory solutions available in trying to understand how multi-cap funds can find a place in your portfolio, what kind of asset allocation you want to do towards multi-cap funds will depend on things like your investment horizon, what is the target investment amount or the target need that you're looking for, and what is your risk profile. So Rahul, my last question to you in relation to this is, are there any set of investors who should not invest in multi-cap funds?
Well, I think if there are people who have or investors who have extremely low risk appetite or extremely short-term needs of capital, or steady need of capital in the short term to support their cost of living or support their lifestyle. For those people, this may be not advisable. But anyone with an investment horizon of 2 to 3 years plus who does not need the capital for the next 2 to 3 years can keep aside this capital for investments. I think those are the people for whom this is more.
Right. So that makes a lot of sense, that if I don't have an investment horizon, or if I can't put aside funds for, let's say, a 3-year period, and let's say I have to make a down payment for a new car that I'm considering purchasing, or if I have to make a down payment, or an EMI payment upcoming, then that cannot, I should not allocate that funds or that corpus towards multi-cap funds. And in the overall scheme of things, don't look at multi-cap fund alone as a complete, solution in itself. It has to fit into your overall investment strategy. It has to fit in with your overall asset allocation and your investment horizon. So that's it for today. Thank you so much, Rahul. Thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure to speak with you again.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risk. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.